Aha! We're live. Someone told me that Mercury retrograde was check different lighting here. Someone told me that Mercury retrograde was done, but you wouldn't know it, would you? Yeah, it does make a difference, the lighting. So hi, New Era family. I'm here to catch you up on not only the energy reading of the upcoming month starting tomorrow, but also to just kind of update you and connect with you. I mean, we're a tribe, we're a community at this point. There are hundreds to thousands of us that want to usher in a new era of conscious coupling, conscious parenting, leveling up on our emotional intelligence, connecting to the spirit world, right? Like our ego tells us we're separate, but we're not. We are part of nature, just like the plants and the minerals. And so the new era is about empowering ourselves to be authentic, to kind of notice the patterns that have brought us to where we're at now, to notice them, to excavate them, to excavate how we've been behaving. March 2020 was a collective fall into the underworld, a death and rebirth for the entire planet Earth, the human species, the human realm. And we have different realms. We have the different kingdoms and different realms. So we all intertwine and intermingle, but they are separate. So we have the mineral kingdom, right? With all our minerals, with our crystals. We have the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, and human kingdom. I don't want to act like we're above. We're just different kingdoms and different frequencies, which I talk a lot about in my New Era Academy. I also talk about how to work with each of the different kingdoms. And it starts tomorrow. I'm so excited. Academy doors close at midnight. This is exciting. It's my third year of running this mentorship, and I'm just a witness to it. I'm just a conduit for spirit. Like, what? This is fun. This is cool. But today, what I wanted to share with you and put out there was any kind of channeled messages from spirit about the month of July. I had some cancellations. And I'm curious. I'm just as curious as you what's about to go down. I'll catch you up a little bit about me. If you are a regular follower on YouTube, you might be like, hello, where's my April and May energy report? Well, luckily, I'm not the only one that does reports. So I do channel from a unique frequency. I'm of the Octarians, teaching the ancient Gnostic lost teachings, la, la, la. There's lots of people you could get your energy report from, right? I just did not have the energy. I was taking care of myself. So everyone has a season, right? A spring, a summer, a fall, and a winter. And someone I loved very much was going through their winter phase. And so I decided to go through that with them and to restore my energy. But the New Era podcast and these, offerings, they're coming back. They're coming back when it feels alive and present and juicy. So I put out a video recently about changing archetypes, and that's big for the month of July. Every single person, and I've been doing my mentorship calls for my academy, for my mentorship, and every single woman is leaving something and going into something else, a new chapter of their lives. So, for me, it's more like I talked about leaving that martyred mother and going into, I gotta show you my new shoes. So amazing. Look at these. Look at these. If you know me for a while, I've kind of I was in like this, they're flexible. Well, they're supposed to be flexible. Dance shoes. But I've been in this so I was like in this, I don't want to go through all the archetypes I've been in, but I was in this really, how do I want to describe it? I was in an archetype of like, hippie, yoga. I'm visiting ashrams and I'm going to Peru and I'm just checking all these different things out. And then I went into more of a martyred mother archetype. And what I'm stepping into, my new archetype is this like ballroom dancing, learning new languages, new cultures, studying more of the feminine arts, which I now have time to do. So that's exciting. Well, you can hear me pretty well. It says that I'm only at like 1 on the volume, which is a bummer. Put in the comments here if you can hear me. I'm going to go shut the window because that will help. Even though I love getting all that fresh air. Yes, I do. Okay, so let's get into, I know not everyone's got time to just chitty chat with me, but I miss you so much. So I pulled some cards for July. So you're changing archetypes, right? The first thing that Spirit's saying is that in order to change archetypes, you have to know how to grieve and feel. So if you haven't fully, realized what archetype have you been in? Have you been in the mask wear? Have you been in a sisterhood archetype? Have you been in building a business? Have you been, unfortunately, some of you, I'm hearing frozen, stuck, not accelerating, or maybe things are, a lot of people who work with me, things are happening, things are changing, and you gotta let something go in order to get to where you want to go. So for me, it was easy, right? If I'm in the martyred mother archetype and I'm parenting an unwell child, naturally with her return to health comes more spaciousness in time. I didn't really have to I didn't really have to do anything to change that other than help her get well, give her the resources. But anyways, and this is what's resourcing me for my next archetype. Thank you. Thank you very much. Ooh, love the feminine arts. I thought you wouldn't catch me caught dead in a pair of those for the rest of my life, but you just never know what's coming. Okay, so we're switching into new roles. What is going to help with that? The number one need in July is to have your intentions seen. So I'm not an astrologer, y'all know that. I channel Ascended Masters, I channel animals and different things. I don't do astrology, but I know it's important. And I know that the astrology lineup for the first part of July, you're going to be misunderstood. You're going to be misunderstood somewhere. If you haven't studied NVC or forms of emotional intelligence, I highly recommend it because it's a good way to, when you've been misunderstood, reevaluate and become understood. So you have these intentions and you're so excited to share them with the world, or maybe you're hurting and you want to share that with someone. Well, here's the thing. People can't see you with the way the planetary alignment is, and things are going to get askewed. They're going to get askewed and you're going to be misunderstood. Do not retreat, but yet take time to pause before you respond after this misunderstanding. Okay, you got to pause, do some self-empathy. We've got the resting tree, which talks about patience and stillness. In fact, she's just taking a little nighty-night nap. She's like, I'm tired. But there's a deeper message to this, so let me check in. So there's going to be a surge of energy around the middle of the month with which will leave you frazzled. Frazzled is what the guides are saying. And so the best way to restore yourself is actually with that plant kingdom. So getting out, meditating around a tree, hugging a tree, envisioning yourself as a tree. I love to do that when I'm doing Reiki and healing sessions on people, just becoming that big ancient tree. That's definitely going to help restore you when you're feeling frazzled. The medicine of the month. So if you've been in my academy or if you've privately worked with me, you know that everyone we do a journey together, whether it's one day, 1 hour, 1 month, and something happens from that journey. Something gets excavated. You gain a gift. And the gift of July is always the best gift, but it's not fun when you're going through it, right? Like, how many people of you enjoy, like, I just enjoy weightlifting for 45 minutes? Not me. I would rather like dance, do the tribal fusion stuff, something like that. But, in order to, and here we've got that sleeping tree guy again. There's also a lot of snakes around, and snake is all about shedding your skin, healing, taking an entire layer off. So again, you're going to feel vulnerable. You're going to feel exposed. Tree, plants, that kingdom is going to help a lot. Just know that you're being molded. You're being molded. You're being pushed in the month of July. So you have to, for wisdom, to gain wisdom, and you really need to rest in between contractions. I can share my personal story, which I do, right, on the New Era Awakenings podcast. And, my story is that workout, is that life boot camp. Sometimes life comes in and it's just tough, right? It's a heavier weight than you expected at the gym. I don't know why I'm using this analogy, but it's just coming out, and in order to get strong, you have to rest, take that pause to let the muscles rebuild and regroup. No matter what this month, your guides do not want you to isolate. Stay in contact with not only humans, the plant kingdom, the mineral kingdom, but also, take time to contact deeply within yourself. Do not isolate. Try not to numb out. So whatever it takes to stay in tune with energies and frequencies outside of yourself. Because it's not really time to take a deep dive and just like block everyone out, okay? You need to have your community, plant community, animal community, human community. Any last messages? Wow. Okay. So Jupiter, there's something important happening with Jupiter. And again, I am not a astrologist. I am a medium and intuitive. You would have to check that where Jupiter is in your chart. But there's some, when I know what a Jupiter, well, so Saturn, I think, is expansion. Jupiter is education. I don't know. There's some okay, my guide's trying to teach me. Education. So I would look at where Jupiter is in your astrology wheel in your chart and really focus on maybe diving in and learning more about that. So whether it's, the house of language, the house of family, the house of work, there's something where you need some more education and resources. So contact the person that you need for that. And I shared my link on here, www.dawn-thompson.com, to get a hold of me if you would like a private reading. That would be fun. If not, I hope to see you next month, in the month of August. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to say that. Let's freeze time and make summer last forever, shall we? Yeah. Be ever so gentle and kind with yourself. We're all just really coming back out into the world, right? Last year was a death. 2020 was a death. And we're just now starting to rebirth the new era. And we can't do it alone. We must be authentic and vulnerable. And we must reach out for support. And above all, stop listening to your brain and start listening to your gut and your intuition. And I'll tell you what, you are going to do wonderfully.